Let's go. Yo. Get up, nah, I ain't a quitter. Toss me the ball, I'm a really big hitter. Big picture, I'm a straight killer. Rising the song to the highest bidder. Got juice, got gas, I'ma move fast. New shoes, new tracks, like who's that? I'm new, come back, better than last. Yeah, it's a new me, never gonna look back. Never gonna look back. Cause damn, I was built to last. You move slow and I move fast. And that's facts.
Hello, Chicago. Welcome in to the Chicago Sports Podcast on this Taco Tuesday night. Some Chicago sports going around. I mean, I think Bulls just got to halftime. I think they are up over Toronto, 70-57. If they win that game, they clinch the play-in spot. Cubs will play later tonight. White Sox up 3-0 in the top of the sixth. But we'll be sticking with the Bears here. Draft month just started today. Happy April Fools to everyone in the chat. No, it was not a joke that we were a little bit late to start the show today. I had a little bit of technical issues, but Honey Bear is here to kick us off. Appreciate the support as always. And we're going to be kicking off tonight with wide receiver talk. But before we get into it, Uncle Cliff, first show, your debut,
Yes,
rookie debut. How you doing?
I'm doing great over here in Fort Wayne, Indiana. Longtime Bear fan, and happy to be invited to join the show.
Awesome, and we are glad to have you, and want to shout out the sponsor before we get into the content tonight. Wanna Parlay, it's tournament time. I mean, now we're down to the final four, so not exactly tournament time. We still got 3 really good games coming up with all 4 1 seeds left in the final four. If you want to bet on it, well, might as well use Wanna Parlay. That's WANNA. Wanna Parlay. There's a chat feature, a leaderboard that you can talk trash with as well, and it's not a big commitment. You can just deposit a minimum of $2, and Wanna Parlay will match it. So if you only want to put in 2, they'll give you 2. Hey, if you want to put in $200, they'll give you $200 to play with as well on the house. There's free to play games as well too if gambling money isn't exactly your thing, but it's cheap, and you just got to use code TRACKS to get that deposit. That's code TRACKS, TRACKS, for the app Wanna, WANNA Parlay app. But Cliff, enough talk about betting, because I'm not going to be betting on any lines for the Bears to land a wide receiver like Aiyuk or Tyreek Hill. But but there is kind of a space there, if you want to call it a space. I know they got Rome, they got more. Theoretically, could you add one? Yes, but with their price tag next to them, the Bears already have used a lot of dollars so far this offseason. Not sure that's the road that they should travel down.
I agree with you. Although, I mean, how cool would it be seeing Tyreek Hill
I'm with you.
taking off? I mean, yeah, if the price was right, I mean, if you can get him for a steal, but that's the only way you want to do that. I mean, they did pick up the receiver from the Commanders a couple weeks ago. I can't pronounce his name, so I'm not even going to.
I think it's Olamide Zaccheaus. I think that's how you say it.
Yeah, I'll go with what you have to say, Michael. But no, I mean, I agree with you. I think also you have enough. You have a couple receivers that are still with the team. I believe Scott's still there, right?
Yeah, he should be.
I wouldn't go after that. If you want a receiver that badly, why not wait until the draft? Save your money, because you've got a big draft coming up. So I wouldn't chase him. I wouldn't do it.
Yeah, I'm kind of with you. Definitely not a position of need. I mean, I think the Bears had a luxury, and it's not necessarily something that every team has to have with last year, where you had DJ Moore, Rome Odunze, who's a very talented rookie, probably better than 50% of wide receivers in the league, and then Keenan Allen, even if he's on the tail end of his career, he's still an effective wide receiver, and we saw that down the tail stretch. I think he was Caleb Williams' best friend for like that last half of the season. He made some really good plays. Obviously, having 3 really good receivers like that is nice, but in the NFL we live in today, I mean, there's plenty of teams you see that really have 2 stud wide receivers and not really anyone behind it, and it works. I mean, Philadelphia, Cincinnati, teams of that nature, even Miami with Hill and Waddle, I think they fit that description as well. You don't really need 2 really solid ones. I mean, I'm not sure DJ Moore's on the Jamar Chase, AJ Brown level, but with an offensive mind, now new offensive mind, and your quarterback take another step, he might be able to get there, and you hope Rome also takes a step. Maybe it's Rome Odunze. Maybe we're counting him a little short. Maybe he takes a massive step in year two, but I'm with you. I don't think you need to get a third wide receiver, at least through free agency.
Right. Well, and you're also forgetting you've got Cole Kmet, and you've got, I'm hoping. Now, I don't want to even get into that, but you have some good tight ends on the team as it is, and we didn't use them much last year. And we also have some other receivers, some ones, twos and threes that we still have. And that's why I think I'd roll with what you have so far and then pick up in the draft. As far as your cap hit right now, I don't know where we're at right now. I really don't. But again, save the money because you're going to need it. I mean, you really will.
Yeah, and they've already dwindled down their cap space quite a bit with the moves that they've made. All good moves, I think some are better than others, but overall they fill positions of needs. I maybe shouldn't say all good moves, but they fill positions and needs, and that's kind of the big deal. They have 17 million left in cap space.
Okay.
I don't think Tyreek Hill or Brandon Aiyuk are signing for 17 million.
I agree.
They're probably closer in that 25 mil, so they don't even have enough room for that. And even if they were to make room, like you might be able to with a Kyler Gordon extension, you can kind of create room that way. And honestly, Cliff, salary cap is fake. It seems like teams can just create salary cap if they wanted to. They could just create it as one. So I see Dustin in the chat. How you doing, man? Good to see you out here tonight on this Tuesday. Shout out to everyone else in the chat as well that's here. If you haven't already, like button, comment, subscribe button, help support the channel, help support everyone here, support us tonight, and also you won't miss a show if you hit that notification bell, something that you should always do as well. But yeah, try not to almost veer off my train of thought a little bit. Yeah, I just don't
easy
think
to do.
that. Yeah, I know. I'm trying to keep the chat engaged, keep everyone happy here on the Chicago Sports Podcast, as we like to try and do to the best of our ability. But yeah, with the Bears cap situation, I think it's best that they kind of just bet on what they have on the team already. Although I don't mind the avenue of going to get one in the draft. I don't think the first round is where you get at least at 10. Trade back, maybe start talking about it, but I think the draft is definitely that avenue you want to take.
When you're looking at the draft, I mean, they've got some really, number 10, I mean, if everything falls their way, I have a guy I want them to take if he's there, and that would be Tyler Warren. I want that guy because watching him at Penn State and he's a tight end, but he also could be the answer at fullback too. So, and he's so many weapons available to him. I mean, he is a I guess you would call him a Swiss Army knife type offensive player. So for me, that would be my dream scenario. But again, I think like you were talking about in the free agency and drafting the needs, of course, the center of the line for sure. I still want a left tackle, but that's me. And nothing against Braxton Jones, but I think it could be upgraded. And I like D-line, offensive D-line. That's kind of where I wanted to stick to, but they did answer a lot of that in the free agency. So I'm happy with what they've done so far.
I'm a little biased here with who I'm about to talk about, but it's been interesting to see his fall a little bit in the draft here. And I'm seeing him now at the back end of the first and top of the second. Guy that we thought would be a top 10 pick, and that's Luther Burden. He's kind of starting to slide down boards a little bit. I think there's been talk about character, which just to put it lightly, I go to Mizzou. I've been around people that have covered this team since he's come to here. Not a single soul has said anything about him off the field. Everything's been good off the field. So it's all a load of BS about his off the field stuff. And that causes him to drop. I don't know, man. If the Bears are truly looking for that third wide receiver, if you can get him at 39, maybe even trade up, I think that's an avenue you could take as well. A guy that first round talent, in my opinion, with sliding to the second round. You could look there. I mean, Restrepo was someone I liked until he tried out, and he's slow as molasses. I don't think I want him anymore. I forgot what his 40 was. I think it was like a 4.6 or a 4.7. It was brutal.
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't for a slot guy. Yeah, for someone like him in the slot, no bueno. Right. But I do like the Tyler Warren shout. I've comped him to George Kittle for a while. Starting in the college football playoff, he reminds me a lot of him. Really good run after the catch, and just overall, he's a threat at tight end. when I look at teams in the NFL and what they've done, tight ends just kind of scream. Like most of these teams have really good tight ends, right, Cliff? like,
Absolutely.
like it's a
But
position in need that you got to have.
right. And again, I mean, we don't know what to expect from Ben Johnson's offense. I mean, we know what Detroit did with him the last, 3 years. Now, he says he's going to take a little bit of what he did in Detroit, but he's not, he's going to gear it towards what we have in Chicago. Now, Cole Kmet, I like him. I think he's a good player. I just think he should be further along than he is. Now, granted, last year they threw to him 55 times maybe total, if that. So you have to use the weapons. If you have them, you have to use them. And that's what I think, again, with Tyler Warren, I think that guy is something special. But again, that's just these eyes looking at the Penn State games,
Yeah, definitely. Gets you excited about that tight end position. It's no shout to Cole Kmet to want a tight
None.
end, but it's just when you have the ability to get someone like that, it's maybe a bit of a premium pick. And I know some people might not exactly like that. Like you have a starting caliber tight end. Why would you go get another one? But we've seen tight ends can be game changer. I mean, look at Brock Bowers from
Absolutely.
from this year. I mean, that's a game changer. And Oakland and the Raiders suck. He was still able to get a lot of looks, and he was the only person in the offense. So it goes to show you that when you have an elite tight end, I don't think he's on the Brock Bowers level, maybe just one tier below, but that's just because of how good of a prospect Bowers was. It's not really a slight at Warren, but if you told me Warren had a similar year to Bowers, I wouldn't be surprised whatsoever.
Yep. I agree. I mean, that would be my dream pick if we had that opportunity. But I'm pretty much going into everything right now with an open mind, and I have been for quite a few years now because the Bears have not been that good. So I'm in a wait and see what happens, and people are posting on Facebook, stuff like Ben Johnson, is he overrated, underrated, or rated right? And I'm like, I don't know yet. I mean, I want to see what he does with the team. I want to wait until they get out on the field, even preseason or even for OTAs. I'm not going to worry about it until, I see it. So
yeah,
I'm not going to make a comment about it.
Exactly. Yeah, we got to see him win some football games before we talk about Ben Johnson and how good he's been as a coach. He says a lot of the right things, and yeah, but if it doesn't result in football games, we've already seen this song and dance before, Cliff, with our coaches talking the talk, but they don't walk the walk when football comes around. So I'm even going to give them about a month and a half to figure it out. I'm not going to harp on him at the first slight of what do you call it? Just any sort of negative. He's a rookie head coach. Stuff's going to happen, but I do believe he is the answer, and hopefully it comes sooner than later. But again, want to shout out everyone in the chat. A lot of people have shown up since I shouted out Dustin. Phillips in here. Barlissimo is in here. Zach in here. Appreciate everyone showing up. Even Darius in here as well. I know Barlissimo asked me if I like Brady Cook. I do love Brady Cook. I'm not sure he's an NFL quarterback, but I think a team will definitely draft him, especially with the combine he had, maybe a 5th, 6th round guy, and goes in the right system. You never know what can happen with the quarterback. It's so much system coach dependent, and maybe if he gets the right system, he can turn into a quality backup. But outside of that, I'm not going to expect too much from Brady Cook. So, but I do appreciate the question. Appreciate the chat staying active. Keep asking questions, guys. We'll be here for a while tonight talking about the Bears and wide receivers. Kind of getting back onto that topic. There's really are 2 wide receivers left to kind of even join the team. It's Tyreek Hill and Brandon Aiyuk. We'll start with Aiyuk, who we'll ignore the football for now. I'm not sure I'm a big Brandon Aiyuk fan, like as a person. Like he's been very, very diva-ish recently. I mean, we had the whole saga with him last summer with him requesting a trade out. Maybe he's going to Pittsburgh, maybe not going to Pittsburgh, and he doesn't end up in Pittsburgh. He's back in San Francisco. Then he gets hurt, and now we're doing the same thing over and over again where he doesn't know what team wants him. So I think even outside of him being a good football player, I'm not even sure if that's the culture fit you want, Cliff.
Yeah, I have to say, I kind of agree with you the whole way through. I don't really know. Well, first of all, you want the right people in the team, right? And you want the right people in the locker room. And the questions around Aiyuk, I don't know. I mean, I can't say that he's somebody that I would go after. If I were to go after any of these two free agent wide receivers, it'd be Tyreek Hill, 100% before Aiyuk. But again, Tyreek, like you said, if we've got 17 million in the cap, Tyreek Hill is not going to go for $17 million a contract. That's not going to happen. So you're looking at two guys out of the two. I'd take Hill if I were to pick. But
yeah,
I don't want to say that because I don't want them to worry about that. I think, like you had said, in the draft, you could probably find a nice receiver in the later rounds because there are plenty in the draft this year.
Yeah, I agree with you. And Trax, lead producer, CEO of Chicago Sports Podcast, has blessed us with a bit of a highlight reel here for Brandon Aiyuk. So we're going to let that play here for you guys. Just a little bit too loud maybe there. Play up in that window. I think we'll go picture.
Coaching the offense, I should say. Yeah. Two that I think are. I mean, you got a one with DJ Moore. Granted, it might not be a one on other teams, but so I'm looking forward to big things from Rome Odunze this year.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, take a guy at number 9, I believe, and you gotta, or was it 9 to 10? 9 or 10?
9.
9? I thought it was 9.
9.
Just wanted to be sure my memory isn't fogging up that bad already. But yeah, that's definitely I don't think he lived up to exactly what maybe some Bears fans thought that he was going to right away entering the NFL. But overall, I thought he improved throughout the year, and the Rome Odunze in week 18 was much better than the Rome Odunze in week 1. And that's really all you can ask for with the rookie development. You got to hope he also learned a lot from Keenan Allen. Is now video starting to get into Tyreek Hill. So I think we'll get off that for now.
Now, that's a guy, I mean, Keenan Allen would have been a guy I wanted to keep around. I did. I wanted to keep him around. I thought he was a good player. Now, granted, I don't think he had a very good year last year, but I thought he was playing well towards the end of the season, and he would be one guy I wish they would have brought back. And that way you would have had the same receiver room as you did last year.
Yeah. And I mean, it is still possible they could re-sign him, Cliff. He is still out there. He's still available on a free agent. That's definitely not Aiyuk or Tyreek Hill money you're talking about with Keenan Allen. I think they were talking maybe 11, 12 mil, and who knows, maybe he takes a bit of a hometown not hometown, but a discount to come back to the team he was just on.
Well, and I heard that he's also looking to rejoin in the Chargers. So, we'll see. And he's there. So he's out there. So if we really need to spend some money and if we want to bring in a veteran receiver, why not? Why not bring him back? Give him another shot. Maybe he wants more than just 1 year. I don't know. But I don't think I thought he was okay last year. Wasn't, like I said, wasn't his best year. But I think he started getting it towards the end. So I don't see it. I didn't see why it was an issue in the first place. I would have brought him back.
Yeah. I mean, I think he definitely does. I mean, mention his success on the field. That kind of came a little bit later toward the field, but I think him and Caleb were also starting to build a connection. So I don't think it's exactly smart to maybe take that away. But at the end of the day, still got 17 mil. You still got to sign rookies. You got to do all the yada, yada jargon stuff with money too. And you also can't have no money heading into the season, barring an injury. You maybe got to trade for someone. So I'm honestly thinking they're done, Cliff. And maybe they sign like another minimum vet guy, like a Zacchaeus, like a couple mil. But overall, I honestly think this roster's set outside of who they take in the draft.
I agree 100%. I don't think they're going to be signing anything big. Maybe some depth players, but I agree with you. I don't think they're going to make a splash with what's left in the free agency. I can't see it. They don't need to, I don't think, because again, as I said before, are they a Tyreek Hill or a Aiyuk away from contending for a Super Bowl? I think they've got other needs right now. I'm hoping. I mean, I'm hoping they make the playoffs. I'm not counting on that right now because we're going into a whole new year with a whole new coaching staff, and I'm hoping. I've got hope, so I'll go Bears. But we'll see.
Yeah, and kind of going back to your point earlier, theoretically, let's play hypothetical here for a second. Even if they sign Tyreek Hill, they sign Brandon Ayuk, I don't think that makes them even the favorite to win the division still. That might give you one more win. Like, I think because there is a possibility that there's just too many chefs in the kitchen. Like, you can't just add a bunch of superstar wide receivers and just say, "Yep, we're gonna be amazing." Even if Ben Johnson is the best chef that we've ever seen in our life before, I think even maybe he could get a little bit overwhelmed with feeding enough of those targets. And overall, I just think that could happen as well. I think it'd be hard to have an overwhelming, especially if you're just replacing Allen with Hill. I think Ben Johnson, if he's as good as advertised, he'd figure it out without
Right.
that talent. But overall, I mean, I'm not sure I'd even bet them to make the playoffs, even if they got Tyreek Hill. Like, they need a little bit more, and it's not even maybe on the offense that they need help with, let alone
No,
receiver. That's probably one of the strengths of the team.
the defensive line was pretty bad after what's his name went down last year. Defensive tackle. I can't think of his name right now,
Oh,
but
Billings.
yeah, Billings. Thank you. But yeah, and the defensive line was pretty torn up last year. I still think the edge is still a need, and I would still look at a tackle too. You know, you want to add the depth because you know guys are going to get injured, so you know it's going to leave
Mhm.
you open in certain areas. Again, when we're talking about wide receivers, yeah, it's great to have some experienced guys out there, no question. But if you fix that interior of the offensive line, so you give Caleb Williams a little bit longer time to get rid of the ball or survey the field or whatever, and you've got DJ Moore and Roma Dunze, and let's say Tyler Scott, maybe, um,
Mhm.
or even like I said, Cole Kmet, and you've got four guys out there. I mean, and he's got time. I think it's going to be a big difference. So it might improve the way it is right now. So I think I would worry about solidifying the lines. That to me is, build the team. That's where you start. You start in the line. So I still think right now I like the moves that they made on the offensive line. I do. I have a question on Jackson. I don't, because he only played what 4 games last year for the Rams. I know he was probably injured, but you know, not saying it's a bad call, but that would be the only one that I was kind of questioning out of the three they picked up.
Yeah, and I agree with you on that front as well. And Brandon in the chat, Packers rumored to be a possible destination for Keenan. That would suck. That
That
would
would
suck.
suck.
Yeah, that
anytime,
would.
anytime a bear goes to the Packers, it sucks. But
Yeah, especially one that was so helpful. Although I've heard a lot with Keenan that it kind of it's either Chicago or the Chargers that he's
that's what
mainly
he
wanting to
says.
go to. That's what he says.
Yeah.
Overall, if he can't sign with any of them, if none of them want him, so uh, we'll just have to see with Keenan Allen he ends up going this year. It should be interesting because I think a team that could use a veteran like Green Bay would be uh, it'd be a good fit, I think. But with Green Bay, I mean, they need a wide receiver one. Like they need a true alpha, and Keenan Allen's past that.
I agree. He's a solid. I would even say, well, a solid. And I was going to say a solid 2, but I think he's more of a slot maybe now. And he's not.
Mhm.
No, I couldn't even put him there. He's a solid guy, but he's not going to give you huge numbers. I don't think.
Yeah, I don't think so either. He could be a reliable target though, like what trying to
I know
think.
I'm
Someone
trying
later,
to
like
think.
almost like a D hop almost. Like he wasn't
Yep.
blowing the doors off for Kansas City, but he was reliable. They went to him when they needed him. I think Green Bay could maybe use someone a little bit like that where Christian Watson's a little injury prone, not exactly the most reliable, and the other guys aren't exactly the best with catching traffic like Keenan. So maybe it isn't the worst fit in the world for Matt LaFleur, but I know LaFleur also likes speed. He likes to get those guys open on deep
Right.
crossers. That's not Keenan Allen anymore, Cliff. He's
No.
past that.
No. No, yeah, he's way past that time. I mean, right now he's just a solid guy. He's probably more of a player coach on the field type person, and that's why I think he was good in the locker room, and I think he was good for Caleb, and I think he was good for the other receivers when he was in Chicago. That's kind of why I wanted to keep him, because of the young, Roma Dunze and Caleb Williams. Because of them, that's why I wanted to keep him on the team, because I think he helped a lot more than anybody gives him credit for. I'm not saying that nobody is, but I haven't really heard much. So I think Keenan Allen is I think he's going to be missed. I do. Maybe not a lot, but I'm going to miss him.
Yeah.
He doesn't
Yeah,
come
I'm
back
going to
to
miss him
Chicago.
too. I mean, he was cool. He was a stand-up guy. Nothing bad ever happened with him. I mean, when losing happened, I mean, he never complained about it. So I love Keenan and wish him the best if it's not here. Hopefully not Green Bay, because I don't
Right.
want to root for him in Green Bay. That would suck.
Well,
But
I'm certainly not going to root for him against us. No way.
yeah,
Nope.
100%. I would never root. Yeah. Yeah, he definitely gets the cold shoulder if that were to happen. Honey Bear in the chat, bear down as always. Want to shout out the chat one more time. If anyone's new here, just checking in for the first time, like button, comment button. We appreciate all of that. Get to your questions if you guys have any. Try and keep the chat a little busy here. Also hit the subscribe button, notification bell, so you guys do not miss any other videos. And one more time, want to shout out the Wanna Parlay app. That's WANNA Wanna Parlay. Use the code TRACKS, TRACKS. They'll match up a deposit up to $250, minimum of two if you're not that big of a high roller gambling. And also, if you're not a gambler at all, they have free to play games. So there's games to play for everyone, whether you're a gambler or not a gambler. So be sure to use Wanna Parlay. And if you are going to sign up, use code TRACKS. They'll give you the deposit match. But Cliff, I think we're pretty much convinced here that they don't need to go after a big ticket wide receiver, but they could go after a low ticket wide receiver, not in free agency. I think they already did that with Zacchaeus in the draft. I know we mentioned some guys we're looking at. We mentioned Luther Bird and Tyler Warren, guys that could be pass catchers. Who else are you looking at maybe in the first, or not the first round, but just in the draft in general?
Oh man. As far as receivers are concerned,
Yeah.
I honestly, I'll be honest. I'm not looking. I wasn't looking for a receiver in the draft. I really wasn't.
Even later, like in the third round.
No, I think I said it's. I said let's make a statement, and I said draft nothing but offense and defensive linemen. And I said I don't care. Just bring them in and build the team. That's what my whole attitude was, even before we had Ben Johnson hired on. I thought, at the end of Justin Fields last year, or no, at the end of the year before, what is it, 24? No, we just passed 20. Year after 23, and when they ended 23 the way they did, I felt that they should have cleaned house then instead of keeping Eberflus and then I thought, okay, so you're keeping Eberflus, then now build the team. And everybody wanted to go after Justin or Caleb. And I was like, look, we need a team. And then they were like, well, who's going to play? Who's going to throw him the ball? Who's going to be the quarterback? And I said, well, we haven't had one for as long as I remember. How many quarterbacks have we gone through? So it's like build the team first and then go after your quarterback. So for me, I still think we need to build the lines. And I know we've stepped up a lot this offseason for the offensive line and did a little bit for the defensive line. But I'm more concerned about the trenches than I am the receivers. I really am. Not saying I wouldn't grab one, but I don't really know who's going to be available later on in the rounds.
That is the fun part of the draft. No one knows who's available. And I mean, one guy that, he was supposed to be faster in the combine was Isaiah Bond. I think most people expect him to be 4.3. He ended up running a 4.42, I believe. He was actually same speed as Luther Bird in the combine. That's still someone that I'd look at. I think he's projected around 100, so you could probably get him in the third round. I wouldn't mind that in the third. Before that, I already mentioned Bird, and if he slips to the second, probably not a guy that they're going to trade into the first for. They might trade up a couple spots if they're a big fan in that second round, maybe a couple spots, but it may even slide to them. But there's a lot of depth with wide receiver. There's not too many great players. I mentioned Restrepo. He's fallen down my list with, I think it was Dustin in the chat actually corrected us. We thought it was a 4.6. It was a 4.8.
Yeah, 4.8, I saw
40. Like, that's about D tackle speed. Like, that's a fast D end. Like, that's pretty bad. at wide receiver, and maybe he defies the odds, becomes a good slot guy still, even if he's slow as molasses. But I don't want the Bears to be the team to bet on that. Maybe Ben Johnson wants to, though, but overall, I'm not sure if you saw the conversation, Cliff. We'll go into the trenches a little bit here. Someone asked Kyle Long on Twitter about Armand Membu, and since he was playing right tackle, they're like, "Well, how difficult is it to switch over to the left side? Because I mean, we don't need a right tackle with Darnell, right? Obviously,
Right.
but we could use a better left tackle. And Membu, if he's able to take that right tackle production at Mizzou over to left tackle for the Bears, that's an instant upgrade over Braxton Jones at the maybe third most important position in football. That'd be huge." And Kyle Long responded with, "It's not that big of a change." Like he played, I think Long said he played left side all in
Right.
college and then played all right in the pros, and it literally didn't matter. And now guard may be a little different than tackle, but overall, I'll trust Kyle Long that when you're switching one side to the other, no matter where it is on the line, it's not that big of a deal. So I think Armand Membu, I mean, I'd love that at 10. If they're able to get him at 10, that'd be sweet.
Yeah. I would well, at 10, yeah, like you said, I don't know. Is he going to be available? Or who's going to be at 10? And that's for me, like I said, that's the problem is I don't know. And I hate to sit there and go, I want this guy, but I don't know. I don't know. I like well, I told you who my dream pick at 10 would be.
Yeah, Warren.
So yeah. I haven't really been. I heard the thing Long said, yes. So I'm okay with it. I am. If you're going to draft an offensive lineman, and you're going to look at a tackle, somebody you can move over to the left side, I'm 100% there. I agree. There's an upgrade that needs to be done, and that would be the place to look for it.
Yeah, I mean, definitely position in need. I'm not too down on Braxton Jones. I'm probably higher than most people in the fan base are. I don't think he's a must replace, but if I think Membu's one of the guys that if they're able to get in the draft, that's one of the guys I'd look at and be like, yeah, I'm fine with replacing Braxton Jones with him. Outside of that in the draft, I'm not a big Kelvin Banks guy anymore. Will Campbell, I again wish him the best, but I just don't think he's a left tackle with his arm. I know he hates that, and I know some other people hate hearing that because he succeeded at LSU and the SEC with it. But
right,
again, all the odds are stacked against him. There hasn't been a single Pro Bowler left tackle with arms as long as his or shorter. It just the odds are stacked against you, Cliff. And sometimes, again, maybe he's the first, right? Maybe he's the first, and good for him if that happens, and hopefully with the Bears if it happens. But I just don't think that's a risk you can take, and I don't think you can warrant taking a guard at 10.
No, I agree. Well, Trapika Keepa says right there, rather have right switch over to left tackle.
Yeah, that could be a move too.
I don't know. My problem with Braxton Jones is I just don't think he's I just don't think he's a starter. I think he's a solid backup, but I just don't think he's a starter. And that's why I think the first thing I would look for would be an offensive tackle, a left tackle if you can get it at 10. Or you trade down, gather some picks. I mean, I'm okay with that too. It depends on who's on the board at that time. So if you can get more picks, I'm all in. And we see all these mock drafts and they drive me crazy. So I I like waiting until it happens and then dealing with it afterwards. You know what I mean, Michael?
Yeah, I get you 100%. But where's the fun? We got to at least do a little bit of speculation, right? Got to at least talk a little bit about it, even if we know we're all going to be wrong, and it probably doesn't matter in the end because there's still. Correct me if I'm not sure if you know it off the top of your head. Is it the 26th of the draft? So 25 days or so. I don't know. It's about 3 weeks though, a little over 3 weeks till the NFL draft. And I think it's that Friday after Easter. I'm not entirely sure.
Was it let's see, hang on a second. It's the starts on Thursday, right? 24th.
24th, yeah. So that week after Easter. So a little over 3 weeks, about three and a half weeks here till the draft. And there's going to be a lot of stuff. I mean, you got the Bears 30 visits. And I was looking at the list a little earlier, Cliff, and first round talent guys, there's really only two. And it's Will Campbell and Ashton Genty. Those are the two guys that you look at as first round guys, and those are the only guys they've contacted so far. I mean, I think they've only contacted 10. So you still got 20 spots that can obviously fill up quickly with first round talent guys, but it's interesting they haven't gotten anyone else outside of those two, I thought.
Yeah, well, yeah, Genty. I know a lot of people are saying that number 10. If he's there, he's ours.
I'm one of them.
Are you okay? I've got nothing against the kid. I'm just like, do you? I mean, do you really think that DeAndre Swift is that bad, or Roshan Johnson, or I mean, who's the other guy that we still have? God, who's the third running back?
I think they
Oh man, I can't think. Put me on the
spot. I got rid
spot.
of Darrington Evans.
Well, yeah, Evans is not the greatest.
Oh, is it Homer? Travis Homer?
Homer's there too. I don't know. I mean, you're talking about Boise State. I mean, granted, maybe that's pretty bad of me to say, but it's not one of those monster schools. But he put up monster numbers, so I'm not a Genty guy. I just not that I would be mad if they drafted him, not like I was when they drafted Trubisky, but I would look for. I think, what was this right down here? Eric Rodgers says if you don't get your top two tackles at 10, you don't trade back. You go after a DN. I agree with that. I do agree with that. I would either do a tackle or I'd do a DN, an edge rusher. And other than the fact if Warren's sitting there, I'm grabbing him. That would be my running back move. That's what I would do.
Yeah, and I don't hate that at all. Again, there's a lot of guys at the top of the draft that if they take, I will not be mad at all. I think Genty's my number 1. I think Warren's my number 2 just because of the dynamic threat those guys offer to your offense. And they also, I think, fill a position of Genty's a need. Warren's more of a luxury, but I think he's definitely an upgrade, which I think is what you're looking for in the draft. And then I say Membu 3. And then, again, a lot of the edges have kind of taken a backseat to a lot of these skill positions that have moved up, but I think they're still really good. I think Shamar Stewart tested really well. The production wasn't there, just a sack and a half. But, again, teams draft off traits, not stats. If you draft off stats, you're going to be fired in a couple of years. And, I mean, he tested well with all the traits and stuff. That's a guy I'd be looking there. Mykal Williams, I mean, when's the last time we saw a Georgia edge fail? Right, Cliff? I mean, look at Philadelphia. All they drafted were Georgia D linemen, and I think it worked out pretty well for them.
Well, the last time I saw a Georgia edge fail in Chicago was Leonard Floyd.
Yeah,
and yes, Cliff, Victoria, you're right. Walter Payton did go to a smaller school, and he was the best. So, like I said, it could happen. Lightning can strike twice.
Yeah. I mean, I think the biggest thing that kind of solidified Genty for me was the Oregon game. Where, I mean, that was number 1 team in the country for God knows how long, and all they did was throw 7-8 guys in the box against Boise State. They basically said, do something else other than Genty, and Genty still ran for 200 yards and a couple touchdowns.
Yes.
After that, I'm like, yep, this is RB1. Like, he's going to be a top 10 pick.
I agree. You know what? I think you just put me over the edge. That you're right. 100%. I forgot all about that game. Don't know why, but you're right. That guy did crank up some yards on the number one Oregon. Jeez,
yeah,
that was crazy. But yes, I'm good with that. I'm good with really anything right now because I'm excited. It's the first time I can say in a while that I've been really excited. I was excited when they brought Caleb in. Not that I wasn't going to go there. I'd say trade down, build a team, but they didn't. So I'm like, okay, cool. Let's go with Caleb. So I'm rolling with Caleb. And I was excited last year for like a few games.
Yeah, right.
And then I'm like, I've seen this story before.
4-2. I mean, I thought everyone was feeling kind of good. And again, I can't overstate how confident I was in that Washington game. I thought they were going to beat them by 2 possessions. That almost didn't happen. And I'm not even going to talk about what happened afterwards, but we all know what happened. We're all sharing in the same misery here together. It's got
too many years of misery for me. Too many years.
Again, hopefully Ben Johnson just knows how to call timeouts at the end of games. If he does, we're already miles ahead of where we were last year, right?
Yes, yes, I agree. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it though. It's an exciting time right now. We're getting ready for the draft, which me and I got a couple buddies. We go down the road here. My buddy's got a garage where it's a garage mahal, and we watch. We got a nice big screen TV, kegerator, and smoke cigars. Watch the Bear games. And actually, for the draft, we usually get together for the first round and watch the Bears pick. So I'm really looking forward to that.
Sweet.
I'm psyched. It's my number one team. It's my number one sport. So I can't wait for it to, get back to going. Right now, it's just all Free agency was a lot of fun too. That kind of faded now. It's like bring on the draft.
Yep. Yeah, I'm with you. And I've actually been blessed the last couple of years. I've been able to get on a radio show here in Columbia with a few other, like 3-4 other guys. I mean, we'll switch in the entire night and we're just on the entire draft. I mean, we went from, I want to say like, what does it start? Like 7:15 it starts. We were on at like 6:30 and went all the way to 12:30 or something. So we were on for a long ass time talking about football and draft and stuff, but it's been a lot of fun just talk football for a long time with guys, and it doesn't even feel like you're on a radio show. You're just talking football with a bunch of people. But I'll never forget that being on the air for that Michael Penix pick, because me and the kid I was with in there, we were all just like, yeah, this is gonna be Dallas Turner, fits like a glove. And literally he announced the pick and it was just dead silent. We were just staring at each other because we were dumbfounded that actually just happened.
I couldn't believe it either. That's because I thought Roma Dunze was going to Atlanta.
That as well. I was scared about that.
And I'm like, they picked Penix. They just signed Cousins and they picked Penix.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what are they doing? Sweet, we got Roma Dunze.
Yeah, right.
That's exactly what I said.
Yeah, like Ryan Poles' reaction was like mine as well. He was like, "Wait, Penix?" But I mean, he has a job to do. He was a little bit more controlled than maybe I was. Like, little bit also more mature about it as well. But other than that, I think we're gonna start wrapping it up here tonight. Again, got 27 people in here. Again, if you haven't already, hit the like button, comment down below as well. Appreciate everyone in here. Hit the subscribe button if you haven't as well, the notification bell. We're live here on the Chicago Sports Podcast every day. If you are brand new, we are here every day about the same time at 8 p.m. So you hit the notification bell. You won't miss a show. Maybe it's not me or Cliff, but we got a great plethora of good co-hosts here on the Chicago Sports Podcast that do a very good job. So you're not going to want to miss it from them as well. And congrats to Cliff. The rookie's gotten through his first show. Got anything to add on here before we head out of here?
I barely got through. If it weren't for you and your knowledge there, because I get kind of lost because it's like, you're sitting in here, you're like, oh crap, we're talking sports, we're talking Bears, which I will talk about every day of the week if I can. But 100%. Thanks for the leadership and thanks for being gentle with me there, Michael.
Gentle as always. And shout out some people here in the chat. Got Cliff, Illinois, Jones, Trappa, Eric Rogers. Appreciate you guys chatting it up. Even Brandon, what's up, man? Seeing you in here. Honey Bear as well here from the get-go. Cocaine Bear as well, telling us that the White Sox blew it in the sixth. That's surprising to absolutely no one. And then Erica in here as well. Zach, Darius, some guys up from earlier that I got to earlier as well. And shout out the sponsor one more time before we head on out of here. Wanna parlay? Use code TRACKS, TRACKS, code TRACKS. They'll match any deposit you put in up to $250. You put in $5, they'll give you $5 extra bucks. You want to put in $250, they'll give you $250 on the house. And I mean, good time to do it with the Final Four this weekend, the national championship coming up. The day after should have 3 really good games here to decide a national champion. MLB starting as well. Cubs big win last night, and even the Sox off to a little bit of a surprising start. So if you want to bet on those teams as well, really good chance to do so on the Wanna Parlay, WANNA Parlay app. Use code TRACKS for that deposit match. But if you got nothing else to add, Cliff, I think we're out of here.
Hey, I was in Vegas 2 weeks ago, put $20 on the Bears to win the Super Bowl.
There we go.
Paying only $8.20.
Yeah, so, not bad.
So Vegas knows something.
Yeah. Hey, hopefully they're right this time. It seems like Vegas knows more than all of us. Hopefully they're right on this one, right, Cliff?
Absolutely. I can't wait. I can't wait. Thanks,
can't
man.
Wait either. Yeah. Shout out everyone in the chat one more time. Thank you for being with us here this Tuesday night. And bear down, everyone.